Yo ho ho and a bottle of fun. I'm TychoCelchuuu and this is the Company of Heroes 2 shoutcast featuring Findeed playing as the boring Germans and NS playing as the Soviets. I downloaded this replay from CoH2.org because I liked how this guy was named Finn and this guy was named Toon, which is kind of like fine and tune, like fine-tuned. So I thought that was funny. Also, they're highly ranked, and this is supposed to be a good match, so I'm looking forward to the fight, which is already interesting because we have Assault Grenadiers out from Findeed, having chosen the Mechanized Assault Doctrine. That's one of those really old and creaky doctrines that's been around since I think the game came out. It's nice because you get a Tiger tank at the very end, Assault Grenadiers at the very beginning, and in between, a Stug and a half-track, and I guess light artillery barrage. So really no bum picks in the entire doctrine. It's all solid gold. Fucking stolen Nazi gold. Beautiful stuff. And both players are heading to the left in the beginning, so it looks like we're going to see a lot of engagements. We got conscripts out, conscript spam, in fact. I think we can safely say now that we're up to 3 conscript squads, and we'll have to see how well that works against the MG spam coming out from the German player. We have 2 MGs going to be used presumably in conjunction with these Assault Grenadiers to find, fix, and flank the opponent's squads. Once you get them suppressed and or pinned by the machine guns, the Assault Grenadiers can run in and destroy them. It's also nice because if your opponent tries to flank your machine gun, you can just leave the Assault Grenadier squad there and they have to run to you, and that is the best possible situation. And the German player, you can tell it's a good German player because he realizes the Pioneers, oops, not a good German player because he's building under fire, but you can tell he's a good German player because he realizes the Pioneers, they've got MP40s, and when you get close with MP40s, you can do some pretty good damage, even if there's just fucking little Pioneers shooting the guns. Doesn't matter who's pulling the trigger, anyone can kill. That's why child soldiers are so effective. So, you really got to consider your Pioneers as sort of being mini Assault Grenadiers to use in the way that you would use Assault Grenadiers, which is to get up close and wreck face. So the Soviet player pushed off fairly decisively from the left, but still doing pretty well. These conscripts having taken the field, not just shown up at the field, but taken the field, have hopped in the building, so it's going to be a real pain for the Germans to dislodge them. The Assault Grenadiers, I guess, don't get grenades until you tech up, and so there's nothing, literally nothing the German player can do versus that building. You can set up a machine gun to fire at it, but the thing is, ooh boy, those Pioneers getting wrecked. The thing is, a machine gun, well, we should watch this fight, but I'll just talk about it. A machine gun, pretty much no matter where you set it up, I mean, even if you set it up in green cover and fire at a building, if there's a lot of windows on the building, I guess there's only 3 windows, so that's not the hugest amount, but if there's enough windows on the building, people just fire out at the building and shoot your machine gun, the machine gun will get hurt, and eventually the machine gun will die. It's very hard to dislodge people from a machine gun. What you want is a place where you can set the machine gun up where it's got really good cover, so at least green cover, or ideally another building. Another building's perfect. Green cover or a building, and you want to be shooting at a part of the building that doesn't have a lot of windows, because the number of windows determines how many people are firing at your machine gun. If you can fire at a side of the building that only has 1 window, or even 2 windows, then there's only 1 person at most shooting at your machine gun, and it can probably get some good damage in, maybe dislodge the enemies from that building. So, German player being nice, ooh, nice grenade going in, or nice Molotov, I guess, going in on, that thing, so that's burning the machine gun. That's really unfortunate. Nice little swap with this machine gun pointing backwards away from the Soviet player to be able to pin down these conscripts. Looks like we're getting a nice conscript flank here, and those Assault Grenadiers picked off too much by the conscripts to stop the fight. I just keep saying conscripts to refer to all the different squads, so hopefully you're keeping track in your brain of which conscript squad is being referred to by which. So we have a second Pioneer squad out, rather interestingly, from Germans. Sometimes you'll see someone build another Pioneer squad or Engineer squad or something if they need to build up, to tech up at their base, but their builder units are all occupied out in the field fighting and stuff. Sometimes you'll obviously see a second one if the first one gets killed and you need to, you know, repair things or lay some mines or build some wire or whatever. A nice little oorah there, getting them out of the arc of fire. But you don't often see 2 Pioneers built for no reason. Especially when you can get Assault Grenadiers, which are basically 5 Pioneers with better everything. So that's an interesting choice by the Germans. I'd like to see what happens with this double Pioneer, double Assault Grenadier, double MG strat. Meanwhile, still just spamming conscripts for the Allies, although now we're teching up also to the Tier 2. So from the Tier 2, what are we going to expect to see? It might be a prophylactic AT gun, sensing that the opponent is also going to be able to tech up if you tech up to Tier 2. It looks like these guys are going to get focus fired down if they're not careful. There's not a lot the German has. Oh no, and they just upgraded a flamethrower. Oh my Jesus Christ almighty, that's then when you teched up, I guess, to Tier 1. Fucking... So, the Pioneers, I imagine, were getting so low health and sticking around for so long because he was waiting for the Flamethrower upgrade to pop, and once the Flamethrower upgrade got magically teleported in by the Sky Fairies, he was just going to roast everybody around there. But unfortunately, the Pioneers, you know, they only have 4 people at the best of times. I don't know if approaching on the red cover. I guess it worked out for these guys. The Pioneers weren't able to stick around too long, and so that turned out to be a very dangerous retreat, but they made it out and they're fine, and now they're taking up to Tier 2 also. So that's cool. What was I gonna say? Oh, the Assault Grenadiers, the grenades, sweet grenades, I guess, surprised the opponent. People maybe not super familiar with what the Assault Grenadiers can do. Oh, I think I also downloaded this replay because it was named like Assault Grenadiers what the fuck or something. I guess people maybe not super familiar with their abilities, so who would have known that they get a grenade assault once your opponent techs up to Tier 1? I don't know. Nobody knows. So I should talk about the capping. I wanted to talk about it earlier, but some stuff happened. So the Soviet player did pretty well. Secured a lot of the right-hand side of the map while the fighting was happening on the left, and one of the ways he accomplished that is by taking that fuel point and then hanging out in that building, and the German player was just going really hard on the left. It paid off in some ways. The German player was able to get this cutoff going, as we have a mortar out to maybe counter these machine guns. It paid off a bit because the German player was able to get the cutoff going and able to keep the Soviet player isolated from the left, but the thing is, the Soviet player has had the right basically the entire time, and in fact just recapped this fuel. So I think the German player's aggression is not being rewarded as much as you might want to normally see this aggression rewarded, simply because the German is just now getting this fuel. It took way too long, and so consequently the cutoff cut the Soviet off from stuff that the Soviet really didn't care about, all things considered. This was all really a distraction for the Soviet player to get a better hold on the right-hand side. So I think the teching and the map control has really been working out for the Soviet player, but in terms of combat-wise, the German player has been doing really excellently, and we'll see how this half-track changes the dynamics of the battlefield, because soon the Soviet player might find himself getting pushed away. Nice little flamethrower upgrade on these combat engineers to do their best to hold the right-hand side. The Soviet knows that unless the German player goes all in with the Assault Grenadiers on the right, the most powerful things that can be sent to the right are a machine gun, which is better if you already hold the right and you can lock it down, and in the case of machine gun, you can catch it with the flamethrower before it sets up, or Pioneers, and Pioneers with flamethrowers versus Assault Engineers with combat engineers with flamethrowers. I don't know, it's pretty much just comes down to luck, whoever gets the lucky flamethrower criticals. General's Gentlemen, who shoutcast Company Heroes 2, and so you maybe have watched some of their videos, just released a Company Heroes 2 mod, which like changes a bunch of stuff to try and make the game better. One of the things they changed is that flamethrowers aren't so effective versus retreating units, and one of the reasons they did it is because it's just this sort of flame half-track thing. If you can catch a unit on the retreat and chase it back half the map, chances are you can wipe the squad. So I'm sure the Soviet player is now sweating bullets, effectively realizing that this thing is there. Have we teched up yet to the anti-tank grenades? Yes, we have. I'm sure if we hadn't teched up to those, that was a very Hail Mary anti-tank grenade, because there's no way you're finishing that half-track off when it's right here, and you even fucking saw the Pioneers there, I think. So I don't know about that grenade. Maybe, oh, actually no, I do know about that grenade. Since the anti-tank grenade is almost guaranteed to take out the engine on the half-track, that was probably to take it out so they couldn't chase the conscripts on the retreat and wipe the squad, which I was just talking about. So it's really miraculous that I didn't immediately realize that that was what was going on. So even if you have absolutely no chance of doing anything other than getting a bit of damage on the half-track, it can be worth it to AT grenade it sometimes, namely if you can knock out the engine long enough for your conscripts to escape and not get squad wiped. Speaking of squad wipes, I don't think anybody has gotten squad wiped until I said those words, and now these guys are fucked by the thing I talked about, plus getting blocked in. So that's some grade A thick spreading bullshit right there. It would be nice if on retreat they could just run through trees That's how it works in real life. If you're retreating from battle, you can run straight through a tree, so there's no reason it shouldn't be like that in the video game. Lucky for the Soviet player that the German player was a little too slow on the uptake with that half-track, was presumably doing something else, because that squad could have easily been roasted, toasted, and charred to a crisp on the retreat. I guess this was a Molotov designed to keep the Assault Grenadiers from attacking, and it worked, but they just had too low health to do anything other than stand around for a little while and then leave. Whoa, that almost broke my game when that AT gun fired. If it can get a rear hit, that would be really excellent, and it just fucking misses. How irritating must that be for the Soviet player? He's like, oh my god, I almost basically won the game with that AT gun shot, but it missed. Now it sets up again. It's got some really excellent range. I don't know if it can hit at this range. Oh yeah, that's too far, and he might not even have had sight of that thing. If we turn on the fog of war, he might have had sight, but that's, I think, too far. The AT gun. So still looking pretty good for the Soviet player. We did tech up to tier 2, so we had the AT gun ready for that sort of thing. If you know how the doctrines work, you know that half-track is a possibility, so you want the AT gun to be ready for that. I mean, you always want to be able to get an AT gun, but oh, nice sort of soft retreat from the Soviet here, unsetting up the mortar and the AT gun to get him away until he can push off the people on the cutoff. That cutoff's nice because it's just mostly red cover. They can get into yellow cover here, but then they can't sort of threaten these guys. It would have been nice to maybe see them in yellow cover and hold off against these conscripts for a while to keep that cutoff going. But again, this cutoff is only cutting off 2 strategic points, and I guess the fuel. The German player really not doing so well on the map control, so winning a lot of fights, but only by a hair's breadth, in a sense. Like, nothing decisive, not wiping any squads, and no map control really for that. So the Soviet player doing a really good job holding in this game, really honestly with just conscripts mostly, and that Maxim, which is dead, but mostly just conscripts versus Assault Grenadiers, which is not an easy proposition, I assume, given that I haven't fought against Assault Grenadiers in a long time. But I think conscripts not the most effective guys versus that, but he's kept his squads alive, done some good damage, and most importantly secured really excellent map control until just now, with the German player taking some stuff on the right. German player has been focusing VPs a bit. There's 445 VPs versus 443 VPs, so pretty even there, getting some mines down. The Soviet has picked a commander, picked a doctrine, armored assault tactics, radio intercept, which I feel like we haven't been seeing on the notifications. You know what I would maybe like? If notifications for one player showed up over here, like for the German player, and notifications for the other players showed up here so we could see them all. I don't know. Maybe that would be information overload, maybe it wouldn't. I'm getting 24 frames per second. Fuck this awful video game. Now I'm up to 28 frames per second if I zoom in so I see less. God damn. What do we got here? So, radio intercept, T-34-85, love those things, crew vehicle repair, IL-Sturmovik loitering, and then IS-2 heavy tank at the end. So maybe we'll get to see an IS-2 versus a Tiger. I'm already excited for that. Oh man, that URA, not quite what they needed, I guess. The machine gun can't fire through whatever bullshit is there. Maybe it's the tank trap or the wall, I don't know. So it's the hedge, obviously, it's the hedge. The hedge is the only thing. These sorts of hedges block fog of war, please. Block line of sight, and so if they block line of sight, they block shots. If they don't block line of sight, they don't block shots. For their small arms fire, I mean. And it's kind of a crapshoot what does or does not block line of sight, so it's really all a mystery. I think neither person has lost a squad except for that Maxim that was wiped on the retreat by the flame half-track. I think that's really impressive. Wait, I thought the German player had a mortar. I think the German lost a mortar at some point. I could have sworn the German player had a mortar. Can the German player even build a mortar? No. So the German player couldn't have had a mortar. I must have misread the mortar notification on the left. So nobody has lost a squad yet. Start your death timers, folks, because we're almost up to 15 minutes. Well, okay, the Maxim died. So we can't technically say nobody has lost a squad. Oh, Jesus. A mine. They're lucky that they're all the way over there. Oh yeah, check it out, T-34-76. I love the T-34-76. I like the paint job too. We got a nice sort of I don't really know what color that is, but I like it. I'm a big fan of that color. I was saying the German player was lucky that, oh Jesus fuck, there's a mine over there. So mind gaming, mind games with mind games between these two players. Oh, and the T-34 whiffs the shot, and it's probably got to get out. Can he do the crew repair? Yes. Wait. It's just a fucking, was that always how it worked? They just fucking repair themselves once they're out of, oh wait, no, okay. That makes sense. I misread the thing. I guess you can't do it in combat, which I'm sure has always been there. I was thinking they just passively repair themselves. Like, that would be bullshit. That would be like the United States. No, so, oh no, the mortar. So good mine placement by both these players, really helping both of them. Had the mine not been over here for the Soviets, that flame half-track would have just come over here and wrecked face on these engineers, and then the rest of the infantry could have moved in and killed everything. Had the mine not been there on the T-34, it would have gone in and killed the half-track. As it stands, since the mine took out the T-34's engine, it was stranded in enemy territory, and that really nice aggressive pack positioning was able to catch it on the rear with the gear and wipe it out right here. And I'm sure the German player proceeded to sneer.
We are losing a sector.
This year. And drank beer. So, good mine placement, really unfortunate. Oh, ooh, Jesus, motherfuck. That's the fucking flamethrower half-track for you, folks. Up to 14 kills, and twice has gotten away fairly luckily. Once the AT gun missed its rear at long range, and once the T-34 decided to shoot this stuff instead of it. And so now we have Vet 3, improves vehicle sighting and reinforcement radius. Yeah, nobody gives a shit. And it's still anybody's game, but the Soviet player for sure on the back foot after that quick tech to the T-34. I don't know if it's a quick tech. After that tech, wait.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Where did the T-34 come from? Oh, good, he built Tier 4. I was like, what the fuck? Why'd he build Tier 3? What's this thing for? Do you have to build Tier 3 for Tier 4? I think that's how the Soviets work. Notice how I don't know anything about this video game. Combat engineers built, so another combat engineer squad. Maybe these are minesweepers eventually, because realizing the T-34, that was a nice flame grenade. Or Molotov. I gotta keep stuff calling him. Oh no! Oh, that was so good! Oh, that was so... Oh, and he wiped the squad on the retreat. So there's 17 minutes, 40 seconds. Another Soviet squad down. German player still yet to lose a squad, as far as I can tell. We're 18 minutes in, and the German player hasn't lost a squad. So that's really impressive. What's also impressive is that he doesn't have a Vet 2 on any of the infantry except for the machine guns. So somehow managing to fight for 18 minutes and not getting any fucking veterancy on your people, that's all these guys are about to get Vet 2 and then die. Watch. Vet 2, and now they die. I should watch the fight over on the left. They're not going to die, actually. Oh boy. This is what happens when your AT gun's slightly out of position. Slightly out of position. Oh no, and now it's in position. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Luckily its engine survived that. And so I love how it's getting the fuck out and it still manages to roast one dude, because the range on this thing is so ludicrous. Support armor core completed. And Panzer IV coming right out. So that's a nice response to the Panzer, or to the T-34s once you know your opponent's teched up to that. You know, the only things they're going to get from that that tier are the T-34 or the Su-85 or the other T-34, since they've gone this doctrine. But any of those, the Panzer IV is a good response to. It's a good response to the T-34 because it slightly outclasses the T-34, and more importantly, you know, tanks are good versus tanks. And of course it's good versus the Su-85 because you can circle strafe that motherfucker. These guys in red cover, that's pretty good because red cover is better versus flamethrowers. Always remember that. They sort of counterintuitive. The worse your cover is, the better you'll do versus flamethrowers. If you've got green cover... I didn't lose those squad. If you... oh yeah, so these were minesweepers, by the way, these engineers. Called it! So if you have negative cover, they did wipe out the Flame Pyro squad, by the way, just now. So there's the first squad lost for the Germans. So if you have negative cover, you'll do better versus flames. If you have green cover, you'll do awful versus flames. I think yellow cover is bad, but not the worst. So ideally you want zero cover or red cover. So that's a nice little mechanic there since Company Heroes 1 Sort of reverses the whole cover system thing. These guys, I guess, are spotting for the mortar, which is maybe not gonna save them. We have an artillery barrage coming where? Coming where? Please tell me. Oh god, it's over here. It's gonna be ugly. Oh, what the hell is the German player doing driving? No, we have the IL-2. What the fuck immediately has happened? Decreased the AT gun, but I think that shell hit the Panzer IV and that probably hurt it too. We have a mortar still falling over here. Did the combat engineers retreat? No, they didn't. They got wiped, so the Soviet player really losing a lot of squads here. IL-2 Sturmovik Loiter. I don't know if it's doing anything. That must have been an AT grenade. No, it wasn't an AT grenade. It must have been an AT gun. I don't know what hit it just now. It wasn't the AT gun. The AT gun got decrewed. What hit that Panzer IV? Please someone tell me. Was it the IL-2 loitering? I feel like it's not, because the IL-2 loiter is over here. Does that even shoot infantry? No, it does not appear to. I think it just shoots vehicles. Strafing infantry of opportunity. Okay, it shoots infantry. You must just not have sight on them. I don't know what the fuck is going on. T-34-85 coming out. I like this one even more than the T-34. This is like my favorite tank. I just love spamming these motherfuckers. And look at this. It's just the hero of the Soviet Union that was briefly a ghost. Another Pioneer squad built by the German player to replace the first and so far only unit that he's lost. And the Soviet player lost a lot of infantry during that crazy, insane fight. I don't know what the fuck that IL-2 was doing. Oh man, the AT gun got wiped somehow. Or the German player didn't steal it, obviously. That's still the pack party. Oh no, now the German player is going to maybe lose another squad? Oh wow, that was a nice shot from presumably those Vet 3 dudes. Yeah, because these guys don't even have a kill. These guys are just following the Vet 3 people around. It's just like, okay, we'll let you do all the fighting. We're just here to cap points. And cap that point they will. Excellent. So the Soviet player right back in this game, building more conscripts, and is this a new Maxim? No, it's not a new Maxim, but building more conscripts. T-34-85 spam will take you places. It'll take you where you're going, and the German player's response is pretty much only to spam more Panzer IVs. I don't know, a Pack 40 is a nice response to a T-34-85. That's a way to alleviate your tank troubles. Of course, AT guns always effective versus tanks. This was, I feel like this IL-2, I don't know, I didn't get to watch the IL-2 do stuff, but I feel like it wasn't as effective as we might have hoped. But maybe it stopped the German from pushing over into this place and turning it into a full-on rout versus the Soviets. Maybe that would have put enough pressure to force the T-34-85 to come back and not kill the Panzer IV. But the thing is, these assault... Yeah, wait, no, that's a Pioneer squad. These Assault Grenadiers don't have anything that can hurt tanks, so they're unlike the Volksgrenadiers, they're unlike the Grenadiers in that they don't have the Panzerfaust, so the T-34-85 effectively does not have to care about them. We do have the Panzer Grenadier squad out there, I think. German going to be reluctant to stick the Panzerschrecks on him just because that'll hurt the anti-infantry so much, and also it costs munitions that he doesn't fucking have. Where are all the munitions, by the way, going for the Germans? I think the answer is the German just doesn't have any map control, doesn't have any munitions in the first place. Ooh, another Pack 40, so I did call it. Just spam the Pack 40s, and that's what you do versus the T-34s. That and mines, seeing as you managed to kill the opponent's engineer minesweeper over here with the machine gun, I think it was. Wow, balls on these conscripts. They don't even have any vet. Okay. Oh wow, they actually do burn. Oh no, they don't kill it. So that would have been worth it to wipe the Vet 3 on those guys, but he did. Oh wow, that was a nice water shot. The thing I like about the water in this game is that if something... Oh no, I guess they fixed it. Well, if something makes a splash in the water, I thought usually it just spreads out everywhere, even on the... Actually, I think what happens is it shows up on the land if the land is at like the same level or lower than the water. If it's higher, it'll cut it off, but just because the... I don't know if that even made sense in your head. It made sense in my head. Maybe next time it happens, I'll show you. I don't think it happens on this map. Who's mine? Whew, Teller mines right there. So that's a nice thing if the T-34 ever rushes the base. Last time we saw the T-34 taken out here by some Teller mines. So the German players got some nice foresight. Who's going to win the machine gun duel? This is really exciting. These guys are reloading, which is not good. If they get pinned, it's curtains. Oh, and there's a mortar falling. Oh, and there's a fucking... God damn it, both sides are cheating. That was supposed to be an honorable... Oh no, and he popped the fire thing. I will allow that. it's acceptable if the machine gun uses abilities that the machine gun has, but if anybody else helps the machine gun, that's cheating, and both sides cheat, so both sides are disqualified. This game no longer counts for matchmaking purposes, and you can stop watching now if you want to. Which statistically, I think like 90% of you have stopped watching after 8 minutes or something. I can see the YouTube stats, and none of you motherfuckers are watching at this point. I would offer a prize if you're watching at this point, but I don't have anything of value to disperse in this world. 3 machine guns for the German player. This one relatively... Oh, it's a Maxim! Where did that come from? When did you get that? You must have stolen this one back here somehow. Lord knows. No, it wasn't back here. It was up here. Impressive. Most impressive. Jesus, what's happened to this guy? Was it a mortar hit? Where's the mortar? There's the mortar. Yeah, it must have been a mortar hit. Mortar up to Vet 2 with only 4 kills. I feel like this has been a relatively impactful Soviet mortar. It's been helping to dislodge things on the left despite not getting a lot of kills. I don't know about these conscripts just standing... Oh, out here in the open. Here's some interesting stuff. It's the loiter. The loitering. No loitering signs will need to be posted by the Germans at some point because that'll take care of these IL-2s. Until then... Oh no, the Maxim. Yeah, so this is just a space creation mechanism. Space created, the Soviet can say, with this IL-2. But it's all for naught because this Maxim way at the edge, like, I don't know what these 2 fucking concentric circles on the goddamn map mean, because, like, clearly... Oh, wait. It was strafing that. It did strafe the thing. It hit the hill, but it still suppressed it. I don't know. What do the 2 concentric circles mean? Does the inner concentric circle get strafed extra hard? Does the outer concentric circle only get, like, briefly strafed? Do they not mean anything, which is, frankly, a big possibility in this shitty, awful video game? I really don't know. Those conscripts are dead. And finally that guy. The guys on top of the tanks just love to shoot airplanes. Like, if you're making a top 10 list of their favorite things in the world, whoa, that was a strafe. It can do things. Does it kill? Does it suppress? I don't know. Maybe it does both. If you're making a top 10 list of favorite things for people on top of tanks to do, number 1 would be teleport in from nowhere. Or I guess maybe they don't teleport in. Maybe they were in the tank the entire time, just sort of twiddling their thumbs until they got paid their munitions to pop up on the top. Those greedy, greedy motherfuckers. Ooh, this could get ugly. This could get real ugly. Oh god, that was uglier than your mama. That was so bad. Those poor retreating guys had nowhere to go, so that's a squad wiped. German player really winning the squad preservation war. Soviet player really winning the T-34 spam war. This one's only a 76. The interesting choice by the Soviets there, seeing as he's clearly got the fuel and the manpower to build an 85. So the Soviet player made the conscious choice to go for a 76 rather than an 85 in this situation. Why would you do that when the 85 is clearly superior in every possible way to the 76? Well, let's look at the costs. 380 and 130 versus, whoops, that's not true, 380. So it's almost, but not quite, twice as much fuel to buy an 85. And when your opponent is fairly heavy on the infantry, which the German player is, although now the German player is getting a second Panzer IV, a 76 is pretty good, especially when the infantry has very minimal anti-tank capabilities, which is exactly the case that we've got here. Because the 76 doesn't have to worry if there's no anti-vehicle infantry. So, top 10 list of favorite things for the top gunners. Number 1, popping out of the top. Number 2, shooting at airplanes. Number 3, getting some fresh air. I guess that's sort of the same as popping out. From the top. What else do they like? I don't know. It's tough to say much about what they like because all the different factions have top gunners. So I can't say like persecuting Jews or whatever, because that's not true about. I guess it is probably true of all of them, but it's more true about the Germans at this time period. Also maybe today, but so I don't know how the Soviet, like, it's looking pretty even sort of map control wise. The German sort of pushing a bit on the map, but just, I mean, it's sort of surprising that the German player hasn't been doing better considering the Soviet players have been losing squads fairly consistently. The German player lost, let's see, a Pioneer squad with a Flamethrower, and at some point lost an Assault Grenadier squad, because he used to have 2, now he's got 1. But aside from that, I don't think he's lost anything, which is really crazy. But I think the German player has been a bit more passive, which is understandable considering the bulk of the force has been machine guns. Nice, up to vet 3. Here's this grenade. Oh, then a nice retreat. Yeah, so they get out of there. A Soviet player has learned the lesson about these fucking bundle grenades after losing massive numbers of people to them, up to 26 kills on these things. So slow and steady wins the race seems to be the rule for the German player. Hasn't been playing in a frenzied manner, hasn't been really trying to go for the jugular. Certainly a lot of cutoffs or whatever, but if you think about it, the cutoffs were sort of a more focused and moderate approach than might have otherwise been, because the German player put everything into these cutoffs in the early game. There was no attacking on the right hand side. German player didn't want to risk losing any fights or didn't want to risk getting outmatched, so it was sort of about as safe an attack, and in fact it was a super safe attack if you think about it, because the German player didn't even spare anyone to go over here to the left to capture the fuel for the longest time. So it might have looked like a sort of blitzkrieg lightning war, fucking balls to the wall, nail your opponent, cutoff sort of thing, but really the German player was playing it fairly safe and has been playing it fairly safe for most of the match, I would say. You can tell because the veterancy on the infantry squad hasn't been going bananas. If you see such good squad preservation from a player but their veterancy isn't up like way the hell up there, it probably means their squads haven't been getting into quite as many fights as you would have otherwise expected, which means they haven't been quite as aggressive as you would have otherwise expected. So German player being a little passive, and again, like I said, slow and steady wins the race is the rule here, which makes sense. Late game for oh god, look at all these tanks. 270, or that's an 85, right? Yeah, 285s and a 76 versus 2 Panzer IVs and a pack. Oh, but there's also a ZIS. I don't even know what's going on. Over here we've got conscripts. Man, marauding, those guys are going to die at some point. Over here, basically a stalemate. Over here, just some mortars falling in a stalemate with 2 machine guns. Are they dead? Are they dead on the retreat? So many people. How's this going? Machine gun versus machine gun. These guys make it out. We have a squad pinned. Where's the squad? Those guys just retreating. Anyways, I don't even know how this is going to work. Soviet player was hoping that the tank spam would pay off, and I love the T-34 spam, so I gotta endorse that, but it didn't because the German player knew exactly where those tanks were going. How did the German player know? Well, the German player clearly map hacking, so please contact Relic and get the German player banned for map hacking, but aside from that, it was a really good read on the opponent deciding that all those T-34s were going to go over here. I don't know how he knew. Maybe he just got lucky. But the thing is, consider had the T-34s gone over here, the German player's in a pretty bad place. There's some teller mines here and a Pack 40 here. But, I mean, 3 T-34s can pretty much just focus fire that Pack 40. If they'd gone down the middle, again, German player kind of in trouble. I guess there's teller mines here and here. So the German player actually did prepare pretty well, all things considered. But honestly, a teller mine's going to do you for 1 tank. Oh, there's another one here. Well, so given that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 teller mines over here and 1, 2, 3 tanks, if they run over literally all the mines, you're good to go. Oh man, more teller mines. Beautiful. How are these minesweepers doing? Well, they're repairing, so maybe they'll follow it around. But I guess the German player's plan is, if it goes on the left, I've got a pack and a teller mine, kind of a far back teller mine. If they're trying to circle strike, they'll hopefully hit it. Actually, originally the pack was like right here, which is really bad. You don't want your pack close to your teller mine because a stray shot from the tank can blow up the teller mine, and that's curtains for the pack. So that would be bad. Oh god, don't stand on the teller mine here. A Panzer IV hit. If the Panzer IV shoots the teller mine, it'll wipe the squad. Almost wiped the squad. Well, luckily 2 fucking Panzer IVs firing and nothing happens, so nice assault here from the half-track. Somehow doesn't get itself owned by the AT gun, presumably because it's busy barraging the machine gun. That's bad timing. That's the thing, you barrage with your AT gun and it can't nail the infantry. Ooh, nice refacing on this Maxim. Nice splitting the infantry squads. They don't, oh no, they got caught right in the middle, but they toss a grenade. Oh my god, oh, but they're pinned, so they can't even fire back. Had they not been pinned, that would have been real good for the German player, but they got pinned. Now, Lord knows how this fight's gonna turn out. Oh, god, they just stood up. This, I don't know why this stopped firing. Maybe it was suppressed too much from this thing. But, oh god, and now we have the Blitzkrieg over here. Somehow they avoid all the Teller mines over on the right. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's not set to fucking fire vehicles, so it's fucking... Oh, Jesus, look at that swerve! It didn't hit the Teller mine. We have... Oh, no, it's a... How many Panzer IVs are there? There's one fewer. We're down to one Panzer IV. What's happening in the middle? I think the half-track died to the AT gun. This Panzer IV driving away. Don't drive near the Teller mine! No, there's a Teller mine right there! Oh, it blows up the Teller mine too, and the Panzer IV is dead. The T-34 over here is not over here. It's over here somehow. How to get there? I guess it drove through here or through the middle. Anyways, this Pack 40 has now been mooted, and oh nice, we have this Pack 40. Where is it? Oh wow, that's a nice place for it behind that building. Can't really circle strafe that thing. So now the Russian player has to retreat. So holy hell in a handbasket gifted to somebody at a wedding who you don't really know very well, so you gave him hell. That was nuts. The Soviet player lost a lot of infantry. German player lost a lot of tanks. We have a Tiger out, so I can't even stop talking. The Tiger fucking smashes that outhouse. That's what the Germans think about poop. Germans not fans of poop, except in pornography. Man, nice ram taking out the engine, but it's maybe gonna be too little, too late. Oh, Pack 40 misfires, hits the hill or some... Good lord, I don't know what happened there. If only this Teller mine hadn't been destroyed by your idiotic Panzer IV micro, that T-34 would have just hit. Oh no, but there's also a Pack here, and it's slightly out of thing, and it's behind a thing, but the thing is gonna kill the thing, and everything's fucking dead. These guys, oh wow, that was the other Pack. Nice reposition there. Still in the other Teller mine. That's scary. But the Soviet player quits. So, oh, I didn't even get a chance to analyze the fight over here before it ended, because that Tiger saved everything and killed all the T-34s. So the Soviet player could have won that had the T-34s been able to make it out, but he actually made the snap decision to fight. God damn it, why is there so... It's so loud over here! Shut the fuck up! There's nowhere on this map that's quiet. Oh god, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. Oh, you know what we can do? Let's go to the charts. Is there no... There's no way to just end it. You have to press quit. Well, fuck. So the Soviet player lost all those infantry and stuff, but could still obviously come back into the... Oh, can you even hear me while this is talking? It says I have 4 frames per second in the upper left. I'm just gonna be quiet for a little while. Please wait. Very apt comment. Please wait. Please wait, because we don't know if this is being recorded. The video is at 2 frames per second. I bet the sound is recording fine. This is going to be very goofy in the video. What can I talk about? Okay, well, we're back. So the Soviet player lost like the Maxim and the machine, and the AT gun, but still had the 3 T-34s. They can even repair themselves if he has enough munitions, because he chose that doctrine. But had the T-34s made it out of there, the Tiger wouldn't have been able to wipe the floor with them, and it wouldn't have been the end. I don't know. I think they had damaged engines and sort of things like that, so I guess he figured it's do or die, kill the Tiger, or lose. And despite not hitting any of the Teller mines, the Tiger was able to take them out with the help of the 2 T-34s, which were repositioned. So that was the end of that. Anything cool going on here? Let's army value. This was when the Panzer IVs died. This was when the Tiger came in. That's exciting. This was when everything died. Resource float. Both players not floating a lot, except Findeed waiting for the Tiger. Good. Good. Like to see that. Points held. I don't really know what this chart means. I mean, I guess I do know what it means. 8. You know what? Why can't they just fucking make the grid lines match up to the tick marks? These are just grid lines here for show. That doesn't make it easy to read. Units. Cool. Cool. Okay, that was fun. Bye now.